What's up, guys? This is Bullby the Fell-Handed, and today we have some excellent footage from Midnight Joker 815 in the Bad Chat 25T French Tier 10 medium tank. We are on Scorpion Pass. The greens have spawned in the southwestern side of the map, and the reds have spawned in the northeastern side of the map. Now, as a medium driver, there's a few places you can go. You can take the hill to our direct right, push towards the J9, J0 area. I don't necessarily recommend that because more or less the game is won or lost on the other end of the map. Now, moving on. As far as possibly pushing mid around the E5, E6 area, you have to be very cautious because you end up putting yourself in a flanked position if you're not careful. You're going to take rounds from the guys on the other side of the hill over there at D0, E0, as well as the guys coming across the river there around the B5, B6 area. So yes, you can do it. I have seen it done, but it is very tricky and you have to keep your head on a swivel. Always a good thing for a medium driver. Moving on. Now, as you can see, the majority of their force is pushing down towards our left flank there, right. Now, the Bad Chat is a good peek-a-boomer in its own circumstances. Like this gentleman right here, when he's not paying attention, the ideal mentality right there would go for the tracks and then, you know, finish him off. Now, he did fire. If he did not fire at me, I would not have peeked back up. Put a couple of quick rounds in him right there. We've still got one left in the chamber, and they're just not paying attention over here at all. The downside is we took a couple of good knocks, and now we're down to half our health, which means we need to be extremely cautious for the rest of the game. And that's the thing. Even though you are peeking up, you know, there are a lot of guys pushing the middle hill right there at C5 who can get shots on you even though you are being extremely cautious. So now we kind of have to go into ninja mode and be very, very safe with our shots, i.e. not risk anything. And that's the thing. When you're pushing corners, there's an enormous amount of risk there, so you have to be very cautious. You need to make sure if the juice is worth the squeeze, so to speak. So if you can pull around the corner and kill somebody, get a valuable piece off the board, you know, then perhaps it would be worth it. If not, don't do it. So we took another nasty knock right there. Some guy just peeked up, put one in us. A little bit higher elevation than the E4. Now, when you're reloading in this particular vehicle, I've said it many times, I'm going to say it again, you need to be advancing unless you are otherwise engaged. Now, that particular location we were in, we were currently engaged. That being said, we weren't playing our game, we were playing their game. And our game is a lot better for us. Our game involves firing on people and they have no idea. And see, in order to play that game, it's all about positioning. Bad Chat is not necessarily a frontline fighter, and in order to make it so, you have to really have just a very clear understanding of where all the enemies are. And that was something we did not necessarily have at the beginning of the match because we were taking rounds from areas we did not expect rounds to come from. So the only thing to do from that is move on and correct our errors, if you will. So we are going to position ourselves so we can get so we can flip the tank over, so we can get fire on these aggressors in this particular flank. Now, you do need to be cautious in not overextending. You know, a lot of guys get in these fast tanks, these snake bites, the Bat Chat, what have you, Bulldog, and they just get out there and they go wild. You cannot do that. You have to use this tank very, very tactically. So we put a round in his track right there, didn't do a whole lot, put one in the top of his commander hatch, and we go ahead and dump the mag. We could have possibly, you know, tangoed and tried to fit another one in there, but at this point we're taking rounds. Just saw one hit to the left, or excuse me, to the right of us. We're taking rounds, so let's go ahead, fall back, reposition, reload, and pop up somewhere else. The good thing about the Bad Chat is you can make surprise appearances all over the map. And that's exactly what we're going to do. You have to keep your enemy guessing. You know, when a bat chat is off the radar, it's off the scope in the bottom right hand corner, that is when you need to be concerned, because these bad boys can just pop up behind you for no reason. And we still have plenty of good ammunition here. We can still pull a clutch if we have to. We're getting some good damage here, long range. We're putting rounds on this gentleman right here. No earthly idea where he's taking rounds from, and they were at a considerable distance. So now, granted, while I will be the first to admit that RNG will troll you from now and again, but this was not one of those times. Rushed a shot right there, and it just kind of went wide, and we ended up tacking another one on the rear end of him there. Now, we are being extremely cautious because we kind of feel like we're being focused a little bit from the top of the hill there over at, say, D0. Not necessarily D0 per se, but in that area. So we went ahead and jumped down, fell back, and reloaded, repositioned. Once again, the Batchat has broken contact, and they have no earthly idea where we're at. And that is perfect. That is how we, as Batchat operators, want this to happen. Have some good shots here. Downside is the gun's not loaded. That is 90% of the problem in World of Tanks. So we've got a full clip here. Excellent long-range shot. He's just trucking. We managed to put that one in his tracks, which is textbook what autoloaders need to do. And we're just pounding the rest of them in the tracks. This poor guy has no earthly idea where he's being shot at. And, you know, he was hundreds of meters off our current location, and that's fine by us. Now, the score there, right above us, is 4-3. So it is definitely clutch time. The Reds can pull it out, but then again, the Greens can also pull it out. So we just have to be very, very cautious. So we're just going to sit here a second, take stock of the situation. We don't really want to be the tip of the spear, and the reason for that is the tip of the spear normally gets blunted, if you catch my drift. So we're kind of afraid we go around a corner, we catch that Death Star right there, and he ends up erasing us, or whatever nastiness they have lying for us, lying in wait. But we made some excellent shots on the Death Star there. And that's, you know, your typical situation of the Death Star had cover from one person, no cover from us. And that's exactly what happened to us in the beginning. And there's nothing we could have done for that, unfortunately, except know and predict where the rest of the team is. If you have a good understanding of where the team is, you know, or where they're going to be, then you can kind of do things from there on out. So we are spotted. SS goes off. We go ahead, drop down, pull out, and he looks like he's making a mad run for the TD over there, and that's fine. We have no problem using other tanks for bait. It's, you know, 95% of what we do as Batchat operators. This gentleman doesn't have any earthly idea the hell of it that is about to be unleashed on him, and that is fine by us. Put a couple of good rounds in him, and we go ahead and finish him off. So we did manage to clutch that out, although it wasn't really much of a clutch, as we were up one person overall right there at the end. Had a good game, 77-19, 318 assists. Very, very good game. Big ups to Midnight Joker 815. Guys, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and check the description box below as well. We'll see you guys next time.